People who take the U.S. citizenship test need to know some important facts about the history and government of the United States. In this video, we'll learn about the rule of law and how it was tested when Richard Nixon was the U.S. president. The rule of law is the idea that no one is above the law. This means that everyone must follow the law, including leaders. On June 17, 1972, police arrested 5 burglars at the Watergate complex in Washington, D.C., the headquarters of the Democratic National Committee. Investigative journalists discovered that the burglars were connected to Republican President Richard Nixon's administration. The burglars were paid to wiretap phones and steal documents to help the president's re-election campaign. Nixon and his staff at the White House tried to cover up his participation in the break-in. Nixon also refused to hand over recordings that held evidence of criminal activity. The case went to the U.S. Supreme Court. In the United States versus Nixon, the special prosecutor in the case asked for the recordings to be handed over as evidence. But President Nixon refused again. His legal team argued that the Constitution allowed the president to keep this information private. On July 24, 1974, the Supreme Court ruled that the president cannot use his powers to avoid an investigation. On August 5th, Nixon finally released the tapes. They proved that he was a part of the Watergate cover-up. Aware that Congress was preparing to remove him from office, Nixon chose to resign. He received a pardon from the next president, Gerald Ford, but his political career was over. The Watergate scandal proved that in the United States, everyone, including the president, must follow the law.